AI can now generate a portrait, an entire editorial, even a full campaign in seconds for next to nothing. Does this mean that you should start panicking about your photography business? I'm not, because there's definitely some things that AI can never be able to replace. And by the end of this video, you'll learn how to AI proof your business too. So the thing is, AI is here and it's probably here to stay. There's no avoiding it. So let's all be honest. There are definitely some sort of photo shoots and photography portraits that AI will be able to replace. So whether it's your average person who doesn't want to pay for headshots and they get AI to do their headshots. I've definitely seen some acquaintances on LinkedIn using AI made headshots. So that's proof right there. Or when you think of a small business owner who just wants to generate as much content for their social media pages or even their website, they probably would use AI as well. And I've seen those as well. So these are things AI will start to replace: commercial photography, e-commerce, clients who just want to be able to change multiple colors of outfits on a model without having long days or couple of days for the photo shoot. They are most likely going to be using AI. But to be honest, I've never seen this sort of people as my clients anyway, because what they tell me is that these are people who are never truly invested or never truly valued the process of creating a photograph. So of course there's this new tool out there now. It's like, why should I pay photographers all this money? I just want my photos and be done with it. And that's fair enough. I'm not gonna begrudge them, but as a photographers and people who are running photography business, we definitely still need to future-proof our business. And so I'll be sharing with you what AI can definitely not replicate. Presence, trust, lived experiences. These are all things that AI cannot replicate, AI cannot replace. And so you need to start thinking about what sort of clients actually value photography and what do they want out of that experience of coming to your studio to take portraits with you. And so for me personally, over the last couple of years, I totally changed my business model where it's not just a photo shoot. The clients who come to me don't just want the pretty pictures at the end, especially now. AI can do that. You can give them a headshot of yourself and put it in there, and for example, it would create boudoir photos. But because my process and my sort of stance on what I do is more about the transformation and that movement and that experience and that feeling that my clients actually go through, AI can never replace that. AI can never create that feeling, because my photo shoots is not just me working as a photographer. I actually find it like a collaboration with the client, and it's something they're doing for themselves, their self-esteem, their confidence. And confidence cannot be bought. Confidence cannot be generated in a few seconds. It's something people actually have to work through as well. And so this is something AI cannot replicate. So when you think about your business, what sort of things can you actually start to implement in your client journey and your client process, where they see the value in actually working with you and not just going to ChatGPT or Claude to generate a photo for themselves. So I think moving on, this is what's going to be really important as a photographer. The other thing to think about is that we are now in an era where it's not just about using the latest gear and products, or it's not just about the photo studio or the final pictures, but it's you as the creative, it's you as the artist. What stories are you trying to tell? What perspective are you trying to shift? What sort of visuals are you trying to create? How do you also help those clients during the photo shoot? So for me, for example, it's guided. A lot of clients who come to me, oh, I've never done this before, or they'll say, oh, I've never really liked the camera, or they will say, oh, I don't think I'm photogenic. All of these reasons, and I've sort of like taken it and reassure them that my process is guided. So I'll be guiding them through poses. I'm like, don't worry, you don't have to know what to do with your hands, your feet, your face, where to look. None of that, because I understand you've never done this before. So my process is very guided. And if you'd love to see some of my boudoir poses, check out this video above, which I'm going to link, where I talk about some of my best put our poses. So yeah, you can check that out. So yeah, also thinking about inclusivity, can the client see themselves in your work? You know, are you working with people across different ages, across different like ethnicities, across different body sizes? Because for me to come to you feeling nervous, feeling a bit self-aware, right? If I can see in your portfolio and your body of work that, oh yeah, she's worked with people who look like me, that resonates, that aligns, that helps them feel comfortable. Like I had a consultation yesterday and I was like, oh, how did you find me? And the client said, I found you on TikTok. I've been wanting to do this for years, but I've been very nervous. But your videos, you just came across really friendly, and I thought I'll book in with you. And she booked there on the spot, and over the call, you know, made a payment towards her session and the product. And she hadn't even entered my studio. But I'm sure on my page, she had seen my behind the scenes, she's seen the photos, and then my personality as well. And that just made me think, oh wow, I haven't been taking TikTok seriously, and I've just been posting there sporadically because I tend to be on Instagram much more. But that sort of told me, oh, you need to take this platform seriously. And apart from even taking the platform seriously, it sort of told me I need to sort of like, yeah, put myself out there a bit more. I think that's sort of what I'm trying to say, that we're now in a founder-led economy. Unfortunately, for small business who don't have the budget to put into like, you know, marketing, you sort of have to tell that story yourself. You have to almost become the face of your brand in order for people to like know you. Like they say, people have to know you, like you, and trust you in order to like, you know, pay for your services or buy your products. And that's sort of where we find ourselves in. And as a photographer, as an artist in this era, if you do want to make sure you AI proof your business, then you definitely want to be embedding your values, yourself, your personality, all of that into your branding and into how you show up to the world. So I will say there's no need to like try to compete with AI by trying to even make your packages or your rates much cheaper. That's just a game you would never win, because why would people still pay you even if you want to go as low as £100? People who never valued what you do anyway would not want to pay £100. They're gonna pay or even get their ChatGPT to do it for free, right? So yeah, stop trying to compete with what AI can do and focus on what you can do. How can you evolve? How can you grow? How can you bring new things, new tricks into like, you know, your visuals? And so for me right now, I've been using this studio for a number of years, and I'm now in a space where I'm like, I love it, but I feel like I've done it for long. I need to change my set and change my things up a bit. I've also invested in buying lens filters. So I have lens filters that do different things. I'll put some of the pictures here just so that clients can also walk away with unique images. They're like, oh, I didn't even know I would come out with images like this. But just having that variety in your gallery to offer to your clients. And so if you're currently working in a niche that AI is going to replace, I think it's high time you start seriously considering how to move yourself, how to evolve. So think about niching, and even if you don't want to niche and just do one thing, I get that if you have several interests. But if you are currently working in a genre that AI is definitely going to replace as time goes by, or you're already seeing your inquiries are beginning to dry up, then I think it's time to start thinking about other genres or other ways you can incorporate like your personality and incorporate uniqueness and something else that helps you stand out. Because like I said, there's always going to be people out there who would love photo shoots and don't just want to click a button and have a pretty picture. They actually want to stand in front of the camera, they want to pose, they want to have a good time, they want to have fun, they want to feel confident, they want to explore themselves in a way that they wouldn't if they're just clicking a button on AI and the AI is generating those images. So if you're finding yourself currently in this situation where maybe things are starting to dry up because those sort of clients who usually booked you are no longer booking you, then it's definitely time to start to pivot. And so the final thing I would mention in this video is putting systems in place. So having systems basically means that every single client would have the same exceptional experience experience with you, right from the first phone call all the way to the product delivery. And you can do this by using software which have automated things to, like, send like client guides, preparation guide, mood boards, check up emails. I think, yeah, you have to really think about providing more value to your clients. It's not just that they call you, they get booked in, and they never hear from you again until a few days before the photo shoot where you send them like a gentle reminder. No, throughout that process, how are you, like, hand holding them, showing them value before they ask a question? An email has gone through that is answering that. Before they think about this, an email has gone through that is mentioning that. That's sort of the processes I have in my business, and that means that no matter how many clients I'm working and which part of the workflow they are on, everyone's getting that consistent service, and I get amazing reviews at the end. So if you found this video useful, I know you enjoyed this one where I talk about everything you need to include in your client preparation guide. And if you're struggling with your pricing structure, I have my pricing for profit guide in the description box. Do check that out. But until next time, remember, you don't have to be a struggling artist.